discuss factors affecting equilibrium. Factors affecting equilibrium. See, suppose we have one equilibrium as A plus B in equilibrium with C plus D. For simplicity, we assume all of them to be in gaseous phase. All of them are in gaseous phase. Now, if I assume that A and B are reactants here and C and D are products, then its equilibrium constant, whether that is Kc or Kp, we write Kc here becomes as equal to C plus D by concentration C into D by concentration of A into B. This becomes the equilibrium constant. As I told you, even if you start with C and D in the container, A and B will be produced and we reach the same equilibrium stage. It does not differ at all. If the same equilibrium expression is written in reverse, we assume C and D are behaving as reactants and A and B are behaving as products. So, if the equilibrium expression is reversed, C plus D in equilibrium with A plus B, all gases, the new equilibrium constant, you can call that Kc dash, will be 1 by Kc. How? We will show you. Kc dash for this equilibrium will be equal to concentration of A into concentration of B upon concentration of C into concentration of D. As you can notice, this is nothing but 1 by Kc. So, if an equilibrium is reversed, its equilibrium constant becomes 1 by Kc. This is first factor which affects. Second factor, if an equilibrium you multiply with a certain factor, suppose we are multiplying this by 2. So, we make it new equilibrium as 2A plus 2B in equilibrium with a 2C plus 2D. All gases, we assume here all gases like this. Same expression, both the reactants and products are same only, there is no difference in them, but simply we multiplied the equation by 2. You see how the equilibrium expression changes. I am writing the equilibrium constant for this as Kc dash. Kc dash here becomes as equal to concentration of C square into concentration of D square upon concentration of A square into concentration of B square. Simply compare these two. This is nothing, Kc dash is nothing but Kc square. Meaning of this, if you multiply the equilibrium with a certain factor with a certain value, that goes into the power to produce the new equilibrium constant. Means Kc dash in this case will be Kc power x if you have multiplied this equation by x. Exactly similar thing comes for dividation also. If you are dividing it by 2, half, 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 that also goes into the power. So, this becomes Kc power half, means under root Kc. Okay. Now, third thing basically here, if we add two equilibria, see that part. Suppose we have two equilibria which we add up to produce a third equilibrium. In this case, one is A plus B in equilibrium with C plus D, other one we assume is C plus D, these also are gases, in equilibrium with F plus G. We add these two equilibria to produce a third equilibrium. It will become C and D will get cancelled because of being common, one side product, one side reactant, and the net equilibria will be A plus B in equilibrium with F plus G. Again, all will remain in gaseous phase only, like this. Now, equilibrium constant for this, the first equilibrium, I am writing it as K1, will be equal to concentration of C into concentration of D upon concentration of A into concentration of B. This is K1. K2 for the second equilibrium, we are writing equilibrium constant. K2, which is equilibrium constant for second expression, we can write it as equal to concentration of F into G upon concentration of C into concentration of D. This will be equilibrium expression for second equilibrium. Third one, which is the net, which is the resultant equilibrium of these two equilibria, will be K3, and K3 can be written as equal to concentration of F into G, F into G upon A into B. Concentration of A into concentration of B. Simply you can understand that if we multiply K1 and K2 with each other, then we will get equilibria K3. Means if an equilibrium is the resultant of addition of two equilibria, then the third equilibrium constant will be multiplication of first two equilibrium constants. K3 in this case will be equal to K1 into K2. This is the relation we get here. Similarly, if suppose we are getting one third equilibria by subtracting two equilibrium from each other. Example, I will show you. We have one equilibrium A plus B in equilibrium with C plus D. This equilibrium we have got. Another equilibria we write here, which is somewhat like this, G plus H in equilibrium with C plus D. This is equilibrium number 1. This is number 2. Now, we subtract second equilibrium from the first equilibrium. Second equation from the first equation we subtract to get third one, which is A plus B in equilibrium with G plus H. Assume all of them to be in gaseous phase. All of them we assume to be in gaseous phase like this. We write the equilibrium constants for all the three reactions. This is the resultant one which we have added by subtracting 2 from 1. We write for first one, and equilibrium constant K1 will be equal to concentration of C into D upon A into B. Equilibrium constant for the second expression, we are writing it as K2, and this will be equal to concentration of C into D upon concentration of G into concentration of H. Right. We write now third equilibrium constant for the third expression, the resultant one, and for this it will be K3 equal to concentration of G into H upon concentration of A into B. Right. Now see, to obtain third equilibrium constant, we will have to divide the first equilibrium constant by second equilibrium constant. Right. If we do this, means we will do K3 as equal to K1 by K2. Simply this goes into numerator, this comes into denominator, gets cancelled, you get GH by AB here. Okay. So what we are doing basically, if you subtract two equilibria to get a third equilibrium, the equilibrium constants get divided. One thing you remember here, whatever you do with the equilibriums, whether you are multiplying the equilibrium constant, you are dividing the equilibrium constants, remember one thing, it is the value which changes, not the concentrations. Concentrations eventually come out to be exactly same, whether you multiply that equation by 1000 or 10 or 100. Even if you divide by 1000, finally the state of equilibrium attained will be exactly same. There will be no difference whatsoever at all. Okay. Now, one of the most important factors which affects equilibrium, not by simply changing its composition, actually by changing the value itself, that is temperature. On changing the temperature, the value of equilibrium constant itself changes. There are a lot of things which change. This we will discuss in detail in Lee-Chudley's principle. Right now, come to some basic problems of chemical equilibrium. Suppose we have got one decomposition reaction, that is of PCl5 phosphorus pentachloride, and it is decomposing to give PCl3 and Cl2. This is the case here. All we assume to be in gaseous phase. How the question can be created on this? They will ask you that 10 moles of PCl5, 10 moles of PCl5 are taken in a 10 liter container, at 27 degrees Celsius or 127 degrees Celsius, you can assume it to be. Calculate how many moles of PCl3 and Cl2 we will have at equilibrium. He gives you equilibrium constant also for the value. How did it be done? See, very simple. We assume at equilibrium, once we kept PCl5 in the container, 10 liter container at 127 degrees Celsius, decomposition started, and X moles of PCl5 decomposed. Now, if 1 mole of PCl5 decomposes, this reaction shows that we will get 1 mole of PCl3 and 1 mole of Cl2. So, if X moles decomposed, we will get X moles of PCl3 and X moles of Cl2. Right up now. So, our objective basically here, as the question has been asked, that how many moles of PCl3 and Cl2 we will have finally in the container. How can we find this? Very simple. We will apply Kc, and Kc will be equal to concentration of PCl3 into Cl2 upon concentration of PCl5. Remember, we are talking about concentrations, not moles. This is one very usual mistake, very general mistake which students make, that instead of writing concentration, they simply write moles and get the wrong answer. Okay, so don't make this mistake. We are substituting the values now. Moles of PCl3 are X, which are present in a 10 liter container. We substitute it. So, we get here concentration of PCl3 as X by 10. Understood? Similarly, we put concentration of Cl2 as, again it will be X by 2, sorry, X by 10 in this case, upon concentration of PCl5, which will be 10 minus X by 10. Equilibrium constant will be given to you if he is asking you X. If we solve this, we will get from here the value of X depending upon what value of Kc equilibrium constant has been given to you. Okay. So, in this manner, very easily what will be the number of moles of PCl3 or Cl2 which will be present in the container, we can obtain. Same question can be asked in a different way also, different manner also. How they ask? They may ask you find final pressure in the container. Very simple again. Solve in this manner, Kc is given to you, get the value of X. Once you get the value of X, total moles in the container present, total number of moles in the container will be equal to number of moles of PCl3 plus number of moles of Cl2 plus number of moles of PCl5. Okay. From here, remember, we have got the value of X. We substitute number of moles of PCl3 is X, again of Cl2 it is X, moles of PCl5 finally at equilibrium will be 10 minus X. So, total number of moles will come out to be 10 plus X, right. This is total number of moles present in 10 liter container. If we ask you what will be final pressure in the container, what we do here is we use total pressure Pt, all we assume to be ideal gases. We use PV equal to nRT. This becomes equal to total number of moles, which is 10 plus X into R into T, which is given to you 127 plus 273. So becomes 400 Kelvin. So 400 upon V, which is 10 here. We know the value of R also. NT also we got, because X already we have calculated from here. We will get total pressure at equilibrium in the container, final pressure you can call. One important aspect here. This X is how many moles of PCl5 have decomposed out of 10 moles. This is what it shows, this value X here. In equilibrium, we use one term which is known as, one term which we used very frequently here is known as degree of dissociation. This is usually denoted as alpha. Now see, this same problem we pick up again, PCl5 we have got, and this is dissociating to give PCl3 and Cl2. We assume all gases here, and just now we assumed we had 10 moles. Out of 10 moles, X mole dissociated to produce X moles and X moles. Same thing and actually can be written in terms of alpha, and that time the problems in lot of cases become simpler because we can take certain approximations which are not that much comfortable with using X. See, degree of dissociation is defined as number of moles of the substance decomposing out of 1 mole. So technically in this case, X is number of moles dissociating out of 10 moles. So number of moles dissociating out of 1 mole will become in this case as X by 10. Right. This X by 10 is nothing but alpha. Number of moles out of dissociating, number of moles dissociating out of 1 mole is known as alpha, degree of dissociation. If we want to solve this problem in terms of alpha, then it is written in this manner. We get 10 into 1 minus alpha. Total 10 moles we have got. Out of 1 mole, alpha moles are dissociating. So out of 10 moles, 10 alpha moles will dissociate. So moles of PCl3 produced will be 10 alpha. Moles of Cl2 produced also will be 10 alpha. Exact solution of the problem remains exactly same. There is no difference at all. You are writing Kc again here, and this Kc now will be equal to concentration of PCl3, which will be 10 alpha. This number of moles upon volume which we have taken becomes 10 liters into concentration of Cl2, which will be 10 alpha upon 10 upon concentration of PCl5, which will be 10 into 1 minus alpha upon 10. From here we will get value of alpha. After solving this, value of alpha is nothing but actually 10x. Previously, as you can see here, we have done here. So X by 10 was equal to alpha. Remaining everything remains same. There is no difference at all. Right.